So we got a long day tomorrow to try to figure this little area out. We got some marsh right here in the Boggy Jordan Bayou. Looks marshy right in there. All that green, little creek flowing in there. This actually ties into the back of the river there. That can't be a bad thing there. That's got to have some trout, some redfish mixed in there in that marshy area.
When was the last time you fished with Bill?
First time we fished together was 14 years ago, and we filmed 3 years in a row. So I guess 11 years ago. Yeah, roughly 11 years ago. Give or take some months.
Well, between y'all strong minds, I feel like we'll be able to crack the code.
The biggest thing that fears me, I worry about, is this cold fronts. We just had like three hard cold or mild cold fronts in the past 10 days roughly. So that's the biggest thing that fears me is with all this water, you see you're 16, 23, 20, and you're talking about that's a mile from land. It goes 1, 2, 3 and
it gives them a lot of space that they can just sit there and get up in the deep water.
They can slide right off. They can drop right off here. They be up here one day and then boom, cold front, and they don't like it. It drops 10 degrees. They can slide 1 mile out. We got a lot of guesses to make and a little time to do it. So a lot of hard work and some grind. We'll figure it out.
That's right.
Danny, we're up here on a beautiful morning in Carrabelle, but you and I have never been here before. What's our game plan? How are we going to figure out how to catch fish up here?
I tell you, I'm not 100% sure what the game plan is yet, but what I do know, we're going to launch this deck cap, and we're going to go out there and we're going to do a little looking around, a little diagnosing. We're going to look for some birds. We're going to look for any signs we can get to help us decide where to start.
Now we're at a different place, so we're going to be searching for new locations that look fishy to us, but will our baits and our tactics be the same?
I sure hope so.
Yeah,
I sure hope so. We brought a whole bunch of things to try and a whole bunch of ideas, and we've got 2 big fishy brains, so I'm hoping we can figure this out. Yeah, that's the plan.
I think fish are fish, and a lure in Cedar Key certainly ought to work up here in Carrabelle, I would think.
I would think so. I mean, it's a Florida-based lure, so hopefully so.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Yeah, we are going to be sink or swim,
Coming up to Carrabelle was something that's been on my list for a long time. My family was up here for a little while in the mid-70s with a shrimp boat operation, and somewhere around 78, the boat was sold and we were no longer coming up here. That would put me 3 years old at that point. And I've just always wanted to get up here, and I have yet to do it until this trip. So the main focus of this trip was to get to Carrabelle and see the lay of the land, see what the town was all about, see where I started my first 3 years of my life at. And obviously, see if I could diagnose the fishing and catch some fish. Getting a chance to see the local eateries and bars and things of that nature, and just what the town has in general to offer, was obviously a big part as well at this time. Good morning, sir.
Skipper.
Good to see you.
Let's go kick their ass.
Bill, do you carry sea tow at home?
I absolutely carry sea tow. It's a great service.
For $169.99, if I'm not mistaken what it is, for the year membership, they do everything. If you're on the water and you get in any kind of trouble, they're a phone call away, and they ain't gonna take long to get there. They got several district managers anywhere in the state of Florida or anywhere in the U.S. I mean, they're there, phone call away. I mean,
that's valuable service to have for sure. Peace of mind.
Absolutely. You leave the ramp knowing that somebody's gonna come get you, you get in trouble, helps a lot. That was one of the reasons why we're here today was simply, I'd never seen Carrabelle with my own eyes. We moved out of here and my mom kind of gave my dad an ultimatum, and it caused us to sell the shrimp boat and move and be complete Cedar Keyans, so to speak. So I appreciate you making the trip up and spending the time with us and helping me break this area down for the folks at home.
I appreciate the invitation. I'm proud to be here.
Proud to have you. One of our locations we planned on targeting was Dog Island, of course. It's an iconic spot for Carrabelle, very beautiful, has grass flats, docks, high spots, low spots. It's a great spot to start. We ran into the situation was that the cold water had just made everything shift off the shallow water, and that became a problem. Well, Bill, you know, in this time of the year, you can't help but not try for a sheephead with this cold air and everything, and maybe there's not enough deep water near these docks right now for that concept. But there was some marsh grass down to the east just a little bit, and a little bit right there near the river, you know, quite a bit right there near the river mouth. Maybe that might be our next good move, you know, for a diagnosis of the area.
Well, dock fishing can be good, but I like your idea because with those creeks and sloughs back in those little canals or basins with all the marsh, that's just a fishy looking place. When you look at it, you say fish has got to live there, a redfish and a trout, which is what we're hoping to catch. So I like that idea.
Yes, sir. We moved back towards the river and got around the mouth of the river where I seen a lot of familiar pieces. Sawgrass, creek mouse, high spots, low spots, mullet, all of that stuff became very familiar, and that's where some fish were laying. That's a nice fish, Bill. That's what we were hoping to find. They had all this cold, back-to-back cold this week, you know, and it drove the temperature down to, I think, 64 is what it was. Pretty chilly. The air's nice and warm today, but the water's still very cold.
So do you think those trout were on the flats, and when it got cold, they dropped into the holes?
Well, they were in there, you know, it's time of the year, they were in there. They pulled out, got all happy, but then they got pushed right back in this week, you know, and then this is hopefully the start of something great here.
And you know, you're using a jig, bounced it along the bottom. This water's a little deeper than out there in the flats. I was not getting any action at all on this top water.
It might be a little chilly for it.
They must be hanging right down on the bottom. That water temperature is colder, and then maybe we put the top water up. I know this. You're catching fish and I'm not. I'm using what you're using.
That's right. You're a smart man, Mr. Bill.
The marsh and the creeks up here in North Florida are totally different than the west coast of Florida, Tampa Bay area where I'm from. It's a really fishy looking place. The way the creeks run, the washouts on the corners, and you get back into marsh, there's got to be all kinds of shrimp and bait fish and crabs back there. This is a real fishy area, and that marsh and creek system is a real good place.
I think
there you go. Fish on, I think. Yes, sir.
Yeah. There you
See,
go.
that was a perfect example of that fish bit it on the sink.
On the sink, yeah.
And shaking its head. I can feel it shaking its head, which a speckled trout does.
Oh, yeah.
And he just let it go.
Oh, he just shook
right
it.
there.
He shook
Golly.
it. Heartbreaker.
Speaking of shaking his head, I think he shaked it right off.
I think that was about a 30-incher, don't you think so, Bill?
Probably a world record.
I would
I
imagine.
I don't have any doubt about that.
I would imagine.
This little bay right here, a little cove may have, look at that.
They're in here.
May have something.
There's another one right here coming up from the backside.
Look straight and funny.
Oh, I know. We got to stop.
Yeah, put the power pole down.
Eat a little breakfast. A little caffeine shad breakfast. There he goes.
Had a boy, Danny. That's a good one there. Looks like a redfish.
Oh, yeah. Come back. Oh, that's a beautiful fish.
It's a good one.
There's one running in front of the boat.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I can get him to bite this top water.
Beautiful fish.
Way
That's
to
a
go,
nice
buddy.
one. Served him up a little breakfast and he couldn't handle it. We knew we had to get way back in this creek. We knew we had to find that lazy spot that they were gonna just hang out at and just relax and try to warm up. First sign of promise was the mullet right outside of here, you know. And then we brought together the pinch, which washes the bottom just enough to make these fish get in here and get comfortable. And it's exactly what they done. Whoa! He thought he was gonna get on that trolling motor, but thank goodness he did not. What a good one. That's a good one. We're gonna need him. I don't know that I got the confidence to fling him over. He's a little sassy. I messed up his breakfast and he ain't real tickled with me. You ready, Freddie? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
There we go.
That's him.
Look at that right there now.
That is called a plan coming together. You know, like
That's a North Florida, that's something new for me. North Florida fish.
The whole area is new to us.
Yeah, it's new for me.
Yeah.
You call this, Danny. You absolutely call this.
We're roughly in 12 to 14 inches of water in here, and to have this 27-foot deck cat get in here that close that you can sight fish and pluck him from that shallow of water when they're cold, it's pretty darn cool. That is a beautiful redfish from way up North Florida. But bigger than that, it's an executed plan. Oh, there he goes. He's on to the right.
Danny's strategy for coming into a new area that he's never seen before is interesting. He does a lot of research, and then you can take the basic fishing knowledge and basic fishing instincts, the same things that happen in Cedar Key might happen up here. Fish the oyster bars, fish the points, fish the creeks, the little corners and the current rips. So Danny's a good fisherman. He uses instinct, he does some research. You combine that together, and he can probably catch fish anywhere that he goes.
That one fish right there done went left and right on several times. He just, there he goes, he ate it.
Yeah, he did.
He ate
it. That was a sight cast.
That was beautiful right there. That was beautiful.
That's awesome, Danny. Getting my rig out of the way. And I'm switching over to a subsurface.
Woo!
Way to go, buddy.
That was cool right there.
You are doing it.
His old boy here's dragging the boat sideways. Oh, that's why. Somebody hit the pole. I guess I lifted the poles. Come on now. There ain't enough water for all that. Ease on out of there. Come on. Damn, he's hard-headed.
You need a net?
I will. He's the same size as that other one. Actually, he's bigger than that last one I caught. You know how it is.
Step down, move to your left over here. All right, you ready?
He's not quite ready, but I'm ready. He's still acting the fool a little. All right, I think that got his hit. There we go. There we go.
Look at that right there.
Ooh-wee.
That'll boy. Look at that gold shining in the sun.
When I come to an area, what I'm looking to see is dominant points that have structure of some sort, form, or fashion. Bait, of course, is always a plus. Tidal movement is definitely a plus. And just in general, simply some life of any form in the area. Well, Bill, that was fantastic. Watching them fish eat that like that. I tell you what, I was extremely nervous coming up here with neither one of us having any experience, but to come back and actually see it and it work where we've never been before.
Well, you called it, and what that is to me is instinct. You've got that instinct, that fishing instinct, and you said it. There's a creek, there's gonna be some drop-offs, and we got back here just as you said the fish were here.
And as we're talking, there's one over there bowing up off to the right there.
He's got my name on it. You caught too many.
I tell you, let's get another one.
I want one, and one anyway.
Yeah.
Well, 15 years ago, I had Danny on my show, and we caught some good fish. Now, fast forward to the 15 years ahead, here we are again, and now Danny's got the show. He's hosting the show, and I really didn't want him to feel bad, me come up here and catch more fish than him, so I took it easy on him today, and I let him catch most of the fish. Danny, these fish are pretty spooky in this shallow water in these tight circumstances, and I haven't had many bites. I haven't any bites in here. You have, but how do you get them to bite when they're this spooky?
So the only thing that I've noticed, it seems like they're in here, they're cold, they're being a little lethargic, but we kind of bump on them a little, and as long as we get to them early, ruffling their feathers, so to speak, we're getting bit. But if we see them, cast to them, make the perfect presentation when they're calm, They're not touching it. We got some milling around right here. Hopefully we can rough them up a little bit and maybe get them to bite.
Well, you got the secret.
Got him.
Look at that. That's a long cast,
I'm
too,
telling you
Dan.
right now. I thought about it. I said, you know what? I need something that will throw like it's never been thrown before, because they're way back there and they're spooking as you get close. He's just racing me. Look at him come at me.
I'm gonna try to fire a long one back
Woo!
there.
That was cool. That mirror lure MR hit the water and he flexed, you know, he was like, whoa, what was that? And he rolled and seen it and I went swish, 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 and he just, he had to have it. That was so cool.
Nice job, buddy.
Gotta be careful with them trebles. There's some trouble. Trebles is trouble if you get on the wrong side of them. Pro tip, sometimes, most of the time, you flip them upside down like that, they'll cooperate a lot better than they will if you don't. So hopefully, he'll prove me right and hang out for me while I get him out of trouble. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. I really wasn't sure what to expect about Carrabelle. It was really cool to see. We actually saw a couple of big shrimp boats working, and seeing that, it was hard to not put my dad in that boat driving across the bay and pulling for shrimp. But finally getting here and seeing the lay of the land, and the town people and all the folks were so nice. The food was good, the nightlife was good, and the old Carrabelle Hotel was amazing. They put us up, and such a cool experience that was.
I've only had one day to fish with Danny up here, and so you couldn't experience it all. And he wants to stay a little bit and look around, and I'm sure he's gonna find some fish and see some really neat things. There's so much to explore up here, and I wish I had 2 or 3 more days to go with Danny and explore these places.
So day one, me and Mr. Bill got on a bunch of big trout in a creek, and they wouldn't eat for nothing. So not having Bill on day 2, I had to go back and try again. Wow, dude, if these fish would turn on, we would have a freaking show and a half right here. Look at them freaking things. Unbelievable. They are cold, cold, cold. The old back-to-back-to-back cold snaps got them, I guess. They're boiling out of that hole. One after another, 20 plus trout. That one's 23 inches. That one's easily 23 inches. Phenomenal trout fishery they got up here. Oh boy, wait a minute now. Hold up. Oh man, catch him, catch him, catch him. There, we caught up to him. Man, we have been seeing these fish. They're in here about as thick as you can get them by the 25s and 20 groups, and beautiful, big speckled trout. Look at him go. We have had them turn their nose up to us so many times. We finally gonna get to hold one. That's a good one. Beautiful trout. It doesn't get no cleaner than nice. This is so cool. Finally get to hold one after seeing about 150. Hold on, big girl. Hold on. Calm down. We're gonna put you back. I promise. That don't suck. Man, I'm so glad that we decided to stop on the way home and swing in here. Bill had some things he had to do, but I had something on my mind I had to check. I hadn't been in here in about 25 years, and I'm so glad we stopped and tried this. Yep, that's what I feel is going to happen. Chokers. Yeah, they're all cool and calm and collected until they ain't. I truly couldn't believe how many trout was in there. From 20 inches to 24 inches. It was unbelievable to see that many fish and them not want to eat what we had. Coming to Carrabelle is finally checked off my list, and I'm so glad I picked it. It was the perfect location to start the Beyond the Surface TV show.
Looking back on this day fishing with Danny up here, I learned a lot. I had never seen this country before. I really didn't have an idea about how to fish it. And without his knowledge, I would have been totally lost. It would have taken me a long time to figure this out. But it's a fishy area. The town is cool, the countryside is cool. I'll be coming back here for sure.
Man, I tell you what, I really hate that Mr. Bill couldn't join us for this little shot in the dark try today. It's a little on the stressful side to get your nose turned up at you so many times, but when they do commit, it is fun. Look at the belly on him. I mean, they're just healthy, beautiful. Nope. Hey guys, be sure to head over to the Beyond the Surface TV YouTube channel as me and Bill break down what happened and what didn't happen in Carrabelle.